purpose of you being here? How important is it to get your story out there?
I am so ornery. I don't do stuff unless I really want to do it. And I heard about this program, and I'm so committed to domestic violence prevention and intervention that I do a lot of stuff. I have never seen a program like what they have here. And actually, Winston-Salem needs to be sort of the prototype for other places in the country. I hope that Raleigh is going to follow up. But they have the most comprehensive and the most devoted people right here. And I don't think the folks in town realize how extraordinary your program is. I've never seen a program like yours. I mean, it's soup to nuts. It's the whole encyclopedic range. They have the crisis hotline, of course. They've got a shelter that's 365 days a year. They cover every single thing for domestic violence, and then what we call high conflict custody battles, and then access to education. They just have experts and the highest quality people I've ever seen.
I know you're speaking here in a little bit. Kind of the message you want to get out to people.
They need to know that this exists because the kids are affected. If a batterer is abusing the woman, then you have a very high percentage of chance that he's going to abuse the kids. And then those kids go on to become batterers themselves. So we have to do something about the cycle. But the women don't, something like 60% of the women don't ever call for help. And then it takes them about 7 times before they get up the nerve to leave. And that's the most dangerous part. When a woman finally has had enough, maybe at the threat of death, and she's getting ready to leave, that's the most dangerous point for her. So there's such problems, but what I love about your all's program is you have solutions for everything. I've never seen that anywhere I've been before, that whether it's the trying to get the kids to understand that they're safe. I mean, there's a thing called Safe on 7th, where the kid can go in on the 7th floor and they don't have to keep repeating the story. Every service that they could possibly need embraces them there. They have, you know, I just want to say that the people here are volunteering too. They're doing this stuff pro bono because the need is so extraordinary. And with everything that's been going on with the NFL and Ray Rice and all that, this is a very timely topic. Very timely.
We've reported on several cases, and obviously people are going to see this story tonight and see your name associated with it, and not be in this room and not even be on the premises here. What do you want them to know if they tune in and see your name and see the story and kind of sit and listen, and maybe they're not in the safest situation? What do you want them to know?
I'm talking from personal experience. I was, I'm not going to cry. I've got my Kleenex ready, but doggone it, I'm not going to cry tonight. I was beaten and raped by an ex-con on heroin. And, you know, I still have PTSD from it. So I understand what we have to do to tell these women, if they did it once, I don't care what they say, how many roses they bring you, they will do it again. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We have to make the women call in, and we're going to give you those numbers, and you have to get help. You have to know that this is the coolest place in America to get help, as a matter of fact. So you have to tell somebody. Like I said, most of the women don't call in because, well, there's a whole list of reasons, and they're all deeply personal. You know, they need it for economic reasons. They're really afraid of the guy. They have no place else to go. He said that he's going to kill their family. There's like 40 or 50 reasons that they don't get out of the abusive relationship. So what's cool about this program is that they give the woman psychological counsel.
I know it's a very, I guess, silly question, but how important is it that you do make these trips and make these speeches and get your story out there?
It's sort of cathartic for me. Obviously, it's very deeply personal. You know, when I talk about what I went through, the guy definitely would have killed me if he hadn't OD'd on heroin and then passed out, and then I grabbed the kids and took off and actually went to the sheriff's station. I was one of the few women that did report it. That's when I found out he was an ex-con. But, you know, I think back, and Winona was 8, and she's okay with me talking about this because we've discussed it before, but she started sleepwalking and bedwetting, and she got asthma and didn't do good in school. So we have to know what the signs and symptoms are of all the ways that it affects our kids, because these little sponges. So the big thing that they're trying to do here is not just ask the woman why don't they leave, but we have to find out why the abuser is doing what he's doing. So they're also about prevention, and I haven't seen that in programs yet. But you know what, I can say this because, like you said, the timeliness about Ray Rice and the NFL, being an entertainer, I am so fed up with these women that are in the entertainment world that are sending such horrible messages to the women across America and these young kids. And it's Beyonce, and it's Miley Cyrus, and it's Rihanna, and those women, you know, we all need to be, we're in this together. And I think what happens, because I've lived it, because I'm an entertainer, they live in a bubble. And unless you have, I mean, country music's so normal, you know. But if you don't have someone explaining to you how detrimental it is, the messages that the culture's sending out, but also with the Ray Rice thing, you don't have to be a black NFL football player to do this, because it happens to white country male stars too. The groupie thing, believe me, I know. I'd sit on my tour bus and watch these girls just throw themselves, you know, at these guys, and the abuse and the lack of self-esteem that these girls have. But they think just because somebody's on TV or they live in a mansion that whew, this is their chance, you know, this is their 1 in a million shot to get to live behind those big iron gates and fly on a plane, and they don't report abuse because it's like a trade-off for them.
Talk about, I know that you've said what great of a system we have here. Talk about the difference, though, when you were dealing with your situation. You said you went to the sheriff's department, but now how important and how big of a need is it that we have all these different steps? A kid can walk to the 7th floor and not have to tell their story over and over. You can call a number and not have to even give your name out
right.
if you don't want to. How important is it for these systems to keep at this and to keep getting bigger and better at what they're doing?
It's getting worse out there. It's getting worse. The National Science Foundation has said that right now Americans are the most unhappy, depressed, and isolated they've ever been in history. Our culture, and by the way, the reason is that we don't know who we are as individuals. We don't know our own beliefs and values anymore. We're just a nation of followers following followers, and that stinking media, invasive, incessant, and intrusive, and it's trying to tell us who we are and what we want. Weapons of mass destruction.
Anything I didn't ask you that
I'm just so knocked out having met the women that put this on, the estrogen that's in this room right now. Because these people, these aren't ladies who lunch. You know, they don't get their nails done. These women are saving lives. They're changing lives. Because if you can get to a child who's watched his mother being beaten bloody, if you can get to that kid, you not just save the mother and the child, but you're reversing the curse. And so far they seem to have all the answers, every question that I ask before I committed to do this, because I'm real fussy about that. I have to know everything about them. It's like, wow, you do that? You really have it together. They've been doing this for 9 years. And the fact that they have the legal expertise, they've got judges and the DAs and everybody on board, down to the people that actually run the shelter 365 days a year. It's never closed. And the crisis lines, and what a community. I just wish that this existed everywhere. We need it. It's getting dark and worse out there. So this makes me smile.
Happy? You happy? We're happy.
I can't read that. Is there, I don't even know if there's anything on it.
That's okay. We can write it down. And,
336.
that's 723.
I can't remember numbers.
Okay. Can you read if I get closer to you?
It's going to be better anyways. If
Uh-uh.
you just put the number in.
Yeah.
To be honest with
on the
you,
screen.
that's probably a better way. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Good questions.